and the solution to deliver facially driven smile for you. With the DSDApp technology and your dental knowledge, you have the power to change the way patients see dentistry by involving people with visual communication and bringing back the confidence in your patients. So we are very proud. Today we have a community, a huge community. I want to also invite you all to download our app. You just need to go to Apple Store and you're gonna find DSDApp by Coachman, the red flag, and you can download and create your account and learn a little bit more about the app. As I told you, we are already a huge community, and we should correct that, Diogo, because we are over 37,000 dental professionals using the DSDApp worldwide. So today we have a lot of people. I just was in the chat and I saw we have from Egypt, Lebanon, a lot of places, different places. I am from Brazil. So yeah, we are increasing. So that's it. I hope you enjoy. And we have a lot of news coming up.
Thank you, Tayana. So Tayana will be on the chat. So if you have any clinical questions, please feel free to ask. She is also one of the DSDApp instructor. I'm Dr. Diogo Alves. I'm also a DSDApp instructor, and I'm very proud of it. The goal here today is to teach you how you can also use the DSDApp in your daily workflow when it comes to aesthetics. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about why creating a 3D dental design puts you in control of your composite veneers course. What is the DSD methodology? And of course, how to create the 3D composite veneers guide using DSDApp. Just a heads up, we have an online course where you will be able to learn everything that I will be showing today. So this is a summary of what you will be able to learn and how to become a digital smile designer using DSDApp. So when we talk about composite veneers, we know that this is one of the most common technique that dentists do in their daily workflow. And what I do here in this slide, we have here the traditional and the digital composite veneers. And I appreciate all of those doctors who do in the traditional way. This is something that I do, Dr. Tayana does as well. But when it comes to differentiate from one to another, we know that the traditional composite veneers, it could become a little bit of time consuming. It also gets it depends on the operator, depends on your specialty and your expertise to create the anatomy the way that you want to. And also, it becomes kind of like difficult to replicate in every single tooth in one session. So usually you have to take take like a few hours to complete, for example, eight veneers, 6 veneers, 10 veneers. So when it comes to the digital composite veneers, what happens is that because you are creating everything in a digital workflow, you will be able to get the natural texture from the 3D design. For those who don't know, when we use the digital workflow using the DSDApp, we use natural shapes. So these natural shapes, they are passed through the 3D design, and then once you print it, all that you have to do is to create an index and then place in the patient's mouth. So you won't have to take your time to create the anatomy on the buccal surface, for example. Another benefit of using the digital composite veneers is that using the DSDApp, you're able to design your smile based on the patient's facial structure. So it becomes much more natural for you to do your technique. Also, you get the patient's collaboration in the project. And what does that mean? It means that once you are creating your smile simulation, you're creating your smile design, you can have your patient to be the co-designer, to give you some tips of what they want. Because in the end of the day, this is what the most important thing is, to make the patient happy. So by using the digital workflow, you're able to have them to be involved in the process as well. Of course, it requires you digital training, and this is why we now also have our online injectable composite veneers course, which is something that you will be able to join today. And you will be able to replicate multiple units at the same time using the digital technology and the technique that we combined with it. And then, of course, it is very affordable, because you will be the one who will be in control of the project from start to finish. So, of course, for you to design your composite veneers, you need to understand how to create your project from start to finish. So we have our DSD methodology, right? We have our DSD workflow, digital workflow. And we have these 4 very important steps to consider to get this patient and start the project on them. So the first thing to do is to understand your patient's need. And how do you do that? You do that by creating the motivational smile simulation. And I will show you in a few seconds how you can do your smile simulations on your iPad or on your iPhone. Once you understand what your patient wants, once you get the idea of what is the smile design that will fit the best on that patient's face, then you take that patient to the clinical exam, and then you take your clinical exams, and then you do also the complementary exam to complete and to create a digital patient. So imagine yourself, you know exactly what your patient wants, because you're creating a motivational smile simulation. You're creating that first sketch of your patient's first smile. You then collect all of this patient's documentation and transform this patient into a digital patient. So once you have this digital patient on your iPad or on your iPhone, you'll be able to design, you'll be able to discuss the treatment with your colleagues anywhere you want. And this is part of the step 3. It's understanding the steps of your treatment plan. This is what we call the DSDApp backward treatment plan. You first get the patient's idea of what they want. You then take the patient to the clinical room. You then collect all of the patient's information in order to understand how you're going to create your treatment plan. Based on that, you then show the patient the treatment options. And then once it's approved, you go to step 4, which is to create the 3D composite veneers guide. And this is something that if you guys want to take a screenshot, if you want to take a picture of it, because this is really important, not just for aesthetics, but to any project, to implants, for full mouth restoration. It is really important to excite the patient from day one. So I'm going to show you here an example on how you can do that. So as I said before, on like the first step is to understand your patient's need. So you, with just one frontal facial picture, you will be able to design a smile that is facially driven. So you will be using your expertise and digital technology all combined together in order to give the patient a smile that they didn't even know it could be possible. And you know what, Tayana, what gives it? It gives a much more confidence on the patient, because the patient now can see exactly how the final design will look like from start to finish. So take a look at our motivational smile simulation.
This is how they can be conscious about the design and what you can deliver, we can do for them. We can choose the templates, we can listen better to their stories, we can choose personal templates with the smile donator. So it's amazing experience for the patient.
So as you can see over there, what I'm doing right there, I'm selecting a design that was donated by one of those people that you see on the photo. And one of the greatest things over there is that you can start to analyze and customize that smile from day one. In this case, for example, we are now deleting the teeth that we are not going to be working on. So basically going from canine to canine. You can make your own adjustments on the gingival margins, for example. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter. You can have the patient to design along with you. This should not take more than 5 minutes and should be done on the patient's first visit. And just so you can see, this is like a real time. This is in real time. You're not fast forwarding. And you see how amazing it is and how helpful it could become in your practice. You then set the colors. And here we go. You have the motivational smile simulation done within minutes. And look at that. The motivational smile simulation is to do that, to motivate the patient, to make them visualize the potential treatment plan. Isn't that amazing? So once you go, you excite the patient, you get that first yes, you get the mentality of the patient. The patient's already saying, yes, this is amazing. I want to know more about it. You then go to the next step, which is to take a patient to the clinical room. And then here, you can, on your clinical exams, take these analysis, the patient's facial structures, muscles, the lip position, occlusion, overjet, overbite, analyze the buccal corridor, the position of the current dental midlining teeth, the quality of the gingival health. And by doing that, you will also be able to collect all of the patient's information and then add it into the app. As you can see over there, you can start treatment planning that patient using the app because you will be collecting all of these informations and add it into one place. And as out of this world that it sounds, this is possible in every office. And we're a very proud company because we are now all over the world, and doctors from all over the world are using this technology and using this workflow, and we're glad that we are able to make more dentists more successful. And then, of course, for you to do your composite veneers, you need to understand the indications and contraindications for this project. Is this patient ready to do a composite veneers right from the first visit, or does this patient need to do ortho first or to do any other procedure first prior to the composite veneer? So this is like an interesting slide where it talks about the indications such as diastemas, peg laterals, class 4, patients with slightly malpositioned teeth, minimally invasive prep, patients that needs just like a small smile harmony, and patients who cannot afford to do the porcelain veneers at the moment. So once you create the composite veneers on this patient, the patient will understand that this is a transitional. as the material itself is not as strong as a porcelain, but by selecting the right patient, you will be able to have these composite veneers to up to 5 years, as long as you set the occlusion and the muscles in the right position, and as long as you select the patient. Of course, we also have the contraindications. For example, patients with bruxism, patients with class 3 of angle, or extremely dark discoloration, patient with a moderate to severe malpositioning or crowning and flare teeth. Those patients, they would have to go through other treatment plans prior to the composite veneers. But here are the indications and contraindications. And this is extremely important for you to keep that in mind whenever you decide to go digital and to use these techniques specifically for your patient. And then, of course, once you set the patient to become ideal for the project, we then go to our step 4. And the step 4 is when you use, now you transform that smile simulation in 2D and transform it in 3D. And this is something that is also included in the app, in the DSD app on your iPad. And it's something that we'll be going over step by step on how you can create that, those guides in our course. So here, for example, we have on the right side, on the left side, we have the prep guide. So basically the prep guide will be as the name says, a preparation guide mock-up. So you place that in the patient's mouth and then you just shave it off. You're shaving that in order to set the ideal design into the patient's mouth once you, after you prep the teeth. Of course, if the patient is not ready, she doesn't know yet if she wants to do this project or not, you can create a motivational mock-up. So basically in the motivational mock-up, the new design will be over the patient's existing teeth. And then we have the composite veneers guide, which is the technique itself. So all these 3 different projects you will be learning in our course, and you will also be able to do it yourself on your iPad. Here is an example on how a motivational mock-up looks like. Look at how natural it looks on the buccal surface. Over there, I didn't touch anything on the buccal surface because those are 3D teeth that comes from the DSDApp library. So as you can see, once I do my silicone index, I take it off with my bisacryl, I take it off, and that's the final result. Just place some alcohol on top of it, and you can show the patient, you can make the patient test drive their new potential smile. Once the patient approves, let's say if the patient needs some time, now the patient approved, you can use then the ideal 3D design, or what we call the reduction guide, to use the minimally invasive prep for your injectable composite veneers technique, as you can see over there. And then here, what did I do? I printed those 3D teeth, and then I created a bisacryl, placed it in the patient's mouth, and then I used the 3D design that I designed on the app, and I used as a base for me to minimally prep those teeth. Because we want to make sure that we save as much enamel as possible for the bonding process. This is a final result. In this case, I did 10 composite veneers. It was completely done with DSDApp. It took me about 2 hours to do 10 composite veneers. As you guys can see, it's very fast to do, the amount of composite that we did there. So let me show you here how you would be able to do your composite veneers using the DSDApp. So the 3D design, you will have to already collect all of the patient's informations. So here is a stage where you already got all of the patient's complementary exams, all the information about the clinical exams, and then you will pass all this information to the DSDApp. So based on the 2D design, you will then create your 3D design. And look at over there. You'll be able to copy exactly the same from 2D to 3D. Then of course, if you need to make some final adjustments, we have this sculpt tool, and you'll be able to just make small adjustments in it. So there, for example, what I'm doing over there, I am now removing the teeth that is going through my composites. So basically now I'm creating the composite veneers guide using DSDApp. One of the greatest things is that you will be in charge of your project. There is no more send it to the lab, send it back, send it to the lab, and send it back. You'll be able to design from start to finish using this technology. So once you are done creating a 3D design, you will then export. As you could see over there, there is a tab that says Composite Veneers. You export that to yourself or to your lab so they can print those models for you. So here, for example, I sent it to Javier. So Javier is here today, and he will be explaining how you will be able to now check occlusion, for example, and make sure that everything is on the go for the actual procedure. And again, this is something that we'll also be explaining in our course, how to go after the 3D design. Javier, I cannot hear you.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so first off, I am the 3D specialist for DSDApp. You've probably seen my name floating around every so often. My name is Javier Moreira. I have about 15 years in 3D, so I'm fairly experienced in how to manipulate in the third dimension. When it comes to dentistry and making sure that you have two models that intersect, it's really difficult to figure out your occlusion because there's no friction in 3D. Things will pass through each other without a problem, without an issue. You'll always run into that problem. So to check your occlusion, you actually need to use this digital tool that you see on the screen right now. This is actually being used in Mesh Mixer, where you would actually align the designed upper onto the to this tool, and you would align the original lower. And with this, you can actually actuate one on top of the other and check the occlusion within the app itself without intersecting. Joe, if you can go to the next one.
Sure.
With that, after you check the occlusion, obviously you're going to have to print it. So here, what you're going to see now is me actually taking that model, setting up the models to print in a printing software called 3D Sprint with our partners at 3D Systems. We have a partnership with their printer called the Nextent 5100. And as you're seeing, I took the models. These models are straight from the app. I bring them into the program. I clean them up very minimally, and it's all done within this program. It's a 2-click process. I set them up inside the printer how I would like them to be, Since I already know that these are going to be the exact models that I'll be able to make the veneers straight from, I just have to make sure, see, one of them is the odds and evens right there, which is the one that I'm adjusting. And the other one is the motivational mock-up that you could see. That's also being adjusted so we can print it with the best surface quality possible.
And as you guys can see there, we have like one model with the entire with the entire mock-up, the ideal mock-up, and the other one we have like one with it, the other one doesn't have one. Then another one with it, and then the other one doesn't have one. So basically, once we print it, we will make 2 clear silicone indexes using those, and then you'll be able to use for your injectable composite veneers technique. And that's something that you don't have to do it. The app will already export for you like that.
That's correct. Straight from the app, you'll be able to choose odds and evens mock-ups or the final printable model. All of that comes out straight from the app, all with one click, honestly, with just an export click. It'll bring you all your files. You just have to make sure that you've generated them correctly. And as you can see, the video finished just there. But I believe in the next one, you'll be able to see us actually print it. The printer that we're using, since they are our partner, we've been testing it very thoroughly with our app, and we have gotten some pretty amazing results. So amazing that Dr. Jogo over here has not stopped raving about the fact that the whole process has now gone from doing a 2 to 3 day procedure that you would take the photos, you would design, you do your sculpt, and then you would have to print and post-process. It would take you 2 to 3 days before you actually have a physical model in your hand. Now, because of how we do it in the app and using this printer that was provided to us by 3D Systems, we can have everything done within about an hour to an hour and a half. That's printed, processed, ready to go. Make your silicone indexes if you wanted to. This could be a one-day affair if you really, really wanted to do it.
That's amazing. So here, for example, we have the same patient. That's the after. So we have the before on the right side, the after on the left side. It's all done through a digital with the DSDApp technology. Let me show you here, guys, some other designs, all also done with DSDApp. This is from Dr. Bertoldi. Also, composite veneers. This is the F8, one of the smile donators that we have in the app. Here's another case. Look how natural it looks. This is my case. I did not touch the buccal surface because the app already brings all the natural designs, the natural shapes. So all that I had to do was copy paste and then use the injectable composite veneers technique. Here's another case. That's how that patient, like I showed before, he looked before, and that's his after. This case is new. It's been about 7 months. He just sent me like a video yesterday. It looks amazing. So yeah, so this is basically just like one of the ways that you can use the digital technology, the DSDApp technology. So for those who want to know more about this course, I want to show you here what we will be covering. Diana, can you explain them a little bit more about it?
Yes, of course. Do you think that you can implement this in your office and impact a lot of lives doing that, like in 2 hours, Diogo? So we can do my simulation, and I need to mention that this my simulations in the iPhone version is also quick, very quick, so you can impact a lot of lives during the first appointment. And this course will cover the principle of smile design, 3D guides using the DSDApp, how to digitalize your patient. So you're gonna learn how to do smile simulation, all the journey, how to take the pictures, how to create a smile simulation, how to change individually elements in the smile so you can present a better smile for your patient. You'll learn a flowable composite technique, the theory, exporting your case to CAD/CAM software, and how to create the guide index, the flowable composite veneer technique itself. So it's going to be a complete course so you can learn all the journey, how you can impact the first appointment, what do I need to do as a complementary exam, how can I create this my simulation and present this to my patient, and what if I need to adjust, how many time do I save, how many money do I save. I think that you already saw that you can save money and also like procedures. You don't need to take impressions, send to the lab, and do the WhatsApp, send it back, and then do the visit with the patient. And suddenly the patient doesn't like one element, so you need to change it. Everything needs to go back to the lab. So this is a phase that you don't need to pass through, right, Diogo? So change for me, please. The surprise is the classes starts on June 29th. So next Monday, we are going to be starting the new class. And we have a special plan available internationally, all over the world, all the dentists. The investment is just on $98, which means the value you can deliver is so much higher than the price you can pay. And what you can have if you invest this value, you can have full access of the DSDApp, iPad, and iPhone version. The iPhone version, you take one picture and in less than 1 minute, the AI generates for you a smile. So you can impact with less than 1 minute. You can bring a team member to be in that process with you so they can prepare the patient in the first appointment. After that, you can access the exclusive DSD portal. It means you can have the content to use for you, to train your staff member, to share, and always improving all the associates that work with you in the clinic. The premium support is if you are needing help on how to build your project, how to go through the app, you can always book a session with us and we can help you to do that. You have your feedback, your homework, so you can do the assignments and we are going to be correcting them and sending you back with the feedback, always helping you to go through the app, trying to do the best with the patient. Live questions and answers weekly with the teachers. So we are here to help you, solving your questions, answering your questions you may have, trying to help you as much as we can, dealing with the process so you can implement in an easy way in your office. And this is a 6-week program, so you have to take time. You don't need to close the office, to travel, the expenses, so you can do in your own pace. This is a nice time to restart after the pandemic, so you can do in your pace. If you can have a patient, we can help you to create your first case, and it comes with the 5 cases to export included. It means that you can create 5 projects. You can get the return over the investment during the course. If you have patients, we can help you to do that. So this is amazing. Who wants to start this Monday? Please let me know if you are ready to start, and send me in the chat your best email, your phone number, and I'll be very happy to call you, contact you to bring more information. I'll also will leave the link of the course so you can take a look and see an overview of the program, see all the steps, all the things that you're gonna learn in a deeper way, so you can see how it's gonna work. And please, thank you so much for being with us, for your time, and I hope you enjoy the webinar. Thank you, Diogo.
Thank you, Dr. Tayana. Yes, just as Tayana was saying, it is for you to become the owner of your own project is priceless. You'll be able to get your patient excitement from day one. You will be able to make them understand the entire process, and you will be able to design that smile from start to finish. And this is a way for you to give harmonic smiles to all. For those who unfortunately don't have the money to spend on porcelain veneers, this is a technique and this is a way for you to excite the patient and still give them something special. And then of course, to make them happy and to make yourself happy, because you're giving them something that is beautiful and harmonic. So I want to here just give a special thanks to Adrienne. Adrienne, she's a dental applications engineers and sales for NextDent. If you guys want to know more about the 3D printer, that's her contact information. And if you have any further questions, please send us an email to support@digitalsmiledesignapp.com. You can also contact Mark. Mark will be your point of contact. So it's mark@digitalsmiledesignapp.com. You can always give us a call as well. We here at DSDApp, we speak 5 different languages. So just give us a call. We'll be able to talk to you. Visit our website, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram to get all the insights of our new upcomings.
Please, I would like to invite you all that
to come to our website so you can take a look and see our case reports. So you can see all the steps on all the patient's journey. So if you want to understand how can I create a project digital and how can this become reality? So please go to our website and take a look all the cases that we did with the iPad, using the iPad version, using the DSDApp is there, so you can take a look and see how you can create that in your office, how you can replicate this in your office.
And for all those of you that are international, please know that you can also contact us through WhatsApp. You don't have to, there's no reason for you guys not to call us, to contact us. If you need to go through WhatsApp, you can WhatsApp us. If you need to email us, you can email us. We will get in touch with you any way possible.
Thank you. So I want to thank you once again for joining us in our Composite Veneers webinars. I hope we could share some great information for you on how to become a smile designer, how to become digital, because this is the future is now. And this is the new way to think dentistry. So I want to thank you again for everybody who is on our Facebook Live right now. Thank you very much as well. I'll be leaving the chat right now. I mean, I'll be leaving the webinar right now, but the chat will be open for another 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, you can contact Javier and Tayana. So thank you once again, and I will see you soon.